the summer begins, Brooklyn Park is taking a closer look at their innovative approaches to fight crime. They've tried initiatives like youth outreach and violence intervention groups. Now they take a look at what works and what else they can try. With each new idea, Brooklyn Park Police is working to improve its public safety model. The police chief recently released details of the short and long-term strategies for a safer city. Reporter Sonia Goins has more details on the plan.
Brooklyn Park city leaders say they don't want a repeat of last summer, where violent crime was at an all-time high. The Brooklyn Park Reimagining Public Safety campaign is based on the framework from a national organization called Cities United. Some of the suggestions include looking at several different ways to end the cycle of community violence.
The numbers in shots fires have gone down. The numbers in carjackings have gone down.
The city will continue to work with the nonprofit group Minnesota Acts Now. Last summer, the police department teamed up with the organization to patrol hot crime areas like 63rd and Zane. Both the police and organizers say crime has dropped significantly in those areas.
The numbers in crime have gone down. We're hopeful that we can keep this trend because we know the summer is coming and we don't know what we're going to be facing.
Beefing up youth-based outreach groups is also on the table. Currently, the city has 11 youth-based workers.
You want a sandwich?
The team has activities at Zane Rec Centers, area parks and neighborhoods, and Park Center High School.
Now, the plan also calls for working with local hospitals to assist gunshot victims. A group called Next Steps would team up with police crisis response teams.
When a gunshot victim arrives at the hospital, these individuals from Next Step engage the gunshot victim and work with them to determine what resources they may need.
The goal is to have a safer, more welcoming community for everyone.
There you go.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Brooklyn Park Police are also adding another social worker to help deal with mental health crises. Currently, the city has 3 social workers stationed within the police department. Brooklyn Center police are still trying to piece together a confusing situation that started with a property dispute and a fight on Monday afternoon. It all happened just before 1 p.m. in the area near 5800 Xerxes Avenue North.
While officers were en route to the call, there was an update that there was possibly shots fired. When officers arrived on scene, we did find evidence that shots had been fired, but as of the time right now, we've located no victims, no property damage, and our detectives are currently looking for leads, trying to figure out who was involved in this.
Police say one victim reported 2 people had been vandalizing the victim's vehicle, and he began throwing rocks at the suspect's vehicle, which led to a fight. That's when a suspect pulled out a gun and fired some shots. Police say one victim did go to the hospital with pain from the physical fight. Police also say people on the scene who witnessed the shooting refused to provide any information to police. Brooklyn Center approved the first reading of a change to their city charter on Monday night. The council approved striking the sentence that gives the mayor, with the consent of the council, the ability to take command of police to maintain order and enforce the law in an emergency. The change would add that if there is an emergency, the mayor may coordinate with the city manager, police chief, fire chief, and other resources to assist with the response and maintain public safety. Mayor Mike Elliott was the lone vote against the change. There is a public hearing scheduled for the council meeting on May 23rd. In Brooklyn Park, a local restaurant is undergoing renovation to a building that has been described as largely unchanged since it was built more than 40 years ago. Cam's Bar and Eatery is located on 63rd Avenue North in Brooklyn Park, and the building was built back in 1979. The current owners are giving the restaurant a major renovation, which will add a patio on the southwest portion of the building and spruce up both the interior and exterior of the building. Work started last November, and the owner says he's hoping to serve patrons on the new patio space this summer. Maple Grove has a new option for breakfast food. As Delane Cleveland reports in this week's edition of Takeout Tuesday, the longtime home of Granite City Brewery now has a well-known breakfast chain under the same roof.
It's really a treat to have a new place to come for breakfast.
When you visit any restaurant, one thing that people appreciate are options.
You can come for pancakes or you can come for steak.
And on March 1st, Maple Grove's Granite City Brewery entered into a new phase that gives customers a wide variety of breakfast choices.
The menu is really extensive, and what I had Xfinity, which was very good.
Yet Granite City didn't just all of a sudden extend their hours and start serving breakfast food. Rather, the ownership group brought in the national chain Village Inn and housed it under the same roof.
We have spaces that are 6,000 to 7,000 square feet for dining rooms that don't get used for 4 or 5 hours in the morning before lunch.
Chris Erickson is the general manager of this new dual restaurant concept, where the idea is to make the best use out of this space while also fulfilling a need.
We definitely needed a breakfast place around this area. I think it'll be really appreciated.
The plan was more than a year in the making and required extensive training.
Cooking eggs is a little bit different than cooking a steak. It takes a little bit of finesse. So the training was, imperative there. People love breakfast, which is why we saw the need in the community. You have to make sure you do it right.
Visitors to the Village Inn, which is the first in the metro and is officially open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., can either satisfy their sweet tooth,
Delicious banana cream pancakes seems to be a fan favorite.
Or choose a more savory meal to kickstart their day.
My favorite, the Denver omelet with our home fries.
Then at 3 p.m., they switch over to the Granite City dinner menu, where customers can enjoy a good burger or sip on one of the many beers that are brewed in-house. The early returns seem to indicate that the dual restaurant concept is here to stay.
They got a great menu, good food. That's all it takes. So I think it'll be very successful.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.